I saw the post of a friend this morning, and she was talking about how liberating it is to no longer have your life defined through Jesus. And I completely resonate with that and know what she's talking about. This really has to do with having the freedom to be your human self, to be the person you came here to be, not one that needs to be altered through the teachings of the Bible, and have yourself conform to the standards and example of Jesus. We were indoctrinated with that through the Christian culture and religion that we were born into. Most of us were born into it, and others were adopting, converting to it under the threat of hell. By the way, you might think you have made a conscious appeal and decision to give your life to Jesus. What you're not aware of is that you didn't have to live in the Middle Ages, where everybody was under the threat of death unless they bowed to the Christian church and the doctrines about Jesus. You didn't have to be there. You probably were there in a past life, but you didn't have to be. But your ancestors were there, and their trauma, their religious trauma, has been passed on to you and me. This is in our subconscious. Before you even consciously heard any teachings from the Bible or Jesus in this lifetime, you have trauma from the Middle Ages, where you wouldn't dream about refusing the demands of the church, to give your life to Jesus, to bow to Jesus. You have to consider that all of that is in your DNA. That terror is in your DNA. But your mind will create a beautiful story of how you are in love with Jesus. Guys, it goes deeper than your mental consent. Your soul has so much trauma. And being compelled by the terror of being under the threat of death for refusing the church and for refusing Jesus. You would never dream in this lifetime to refuse Jesus if you are subconsciously experiencing the trauma of the Dark Ages. And I don't buy that when people say, oh, I accepted Jesus because of his love. That is nonsense. The underlying propulsion for even considering Jesus was the threat of hell. We are born sinners and we're going to hell unless we surrender our lives to Jesus. That's the true compulsion. Everything else is the illusion that we have so carefully placed around it. The point is, we all came into this world with this erroneous concept of original sin, that we are shitty humans, unworthy, incapable of any good. And so, out of necessity, to be valued even in a small sense, it was required that we conform to the example and standard of Jesus. And I understand what this friend says, how liberating it is to finally be able to breathe and not have to do it through the name of Jesus, through the lens of Jesus, through the consciousness of Jesus. I can do it through the consciousness of myself. I can bask in the glory of myself. And that is what most people are afraid of. They're afraid of themselves. They're afraid to be the real self, the non-conformed self, because it goes back to that original thing, the sin, that original idea that we are shitty humans if we do not define ourselves through Jesus. So most people are subconsciously afraid of giving themselves credit, of giving themselves the permission to just be, to be renegade, to be me in all of my humble glory, in all of my human glory. I love myself more than I love Jesus, and that's quite a leap. But that is what is required to heal our soul. To be non-conformist to any standard, except the standard that is authentic to ourselves. So I can live this human life without having constantly the awareness or consciousness of Jesus hovering over me and around me. I am okay apart from Jesus. I don't have to be defined through Jesus or his teachings. Neither do you. I encourage you to have the courage to be yourself, to redefine yourself. Redefine yourself as you. Most of you probably don't even have an idea of how to do that, because your conscious space is so full with Christian teaching and inspiration. You don't know how to be you. You only know how to be the shadow of Jesus as you hide yourself in the shadow of Jesus. There's no need for that. Come out of the shadows and shine in all your beingness as you. It's the most liberating thing. It truly is. And I want you to experience that sense of freedom. The freeness of just breathing. Unrestricted, unencumbered by another identity except yours. So be you, be undefined, and reinvent yourself, and bring out the unique human that you are, because we need your uniqueness, we need your individuation, we need the beauty of you. We don't all want to be cookie cutters, shaped in the template of Jesus. How boring is that? Be you. Have the courage to be you.